Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to talk to you about some additional weapon tweaks and a few updates from CTE patch number 20. Firstly, I want to talk about the trigger delay on the 44 Magnum and the Rex. I'm going to very roughly compare the trigger delay from retail BF4 to CTE so we can compare just how much it's been reduced by. Now, I've only included the audio from the CTE version of the 44 Magnum and I've timed the video at the exact same points when I press the trigger. I know it's hard to tell, but in retail BF4, as we all know, there is a slight delay when you pull the trigger to when the bullet actually leaves the barrel. In CTE, the time between these 2 points have been reduced. Now, I know a couple of videos ago I did tell you guys the trigger delay is being completely removed, but it seems like that information was incorrect. However though, playing with the 44 Magnum in CTE, I couldn't even tell that there was any kind of trigger delay, so obviously the new delay value is so low to be obviously noticed. But then again, if it's so low, then DICE may as well just remove the delay altogether. Now, for a change I wasn't expecting, the laser sight has been buffed. Its multiplier of 0.75 times has been changed to 0.67. So in other words, its bonus to hipfire accuracy has gone from 25% to 33%. That means weapons that have really good hipfire like the P90 PDW, if you attach the laser sight, it will have almost the same hipfire accuracy as when you're standing still while aiming down sight, which is actually pretty awesome. I jumped into CTE with the P90 and the buffed laser sight, and this part here I mag dump all 51 rounds into these three guys, and with the 44 Magnum follow-up shot for the third target, and somehow I managed to actually stay alive. The laser sight buff felt really nice. However, for me personally, unless I'm using a PDW in a strictly close quarters situation like this, 90% of the time I have the laser sight turned off, as it gives away my position way too easy for the enemy. Now, if you watched my previous video, you'll know that the slams got a huge nerf, but according to patch 20, the damage and radius nerf it received has now been tweaked once again. Before this patch, the nerf reduced damage of the slams from 350 to 250. I'm not too sure of its new values, but I'm guessing the damage is now about 300 or so, which seems about right, as it does mention in the patch notes you can now kill a tank with 3 slams and 1 shot from any launcher. Now let's talk about some weapon changes. I'm sure you guys know the rate of fire changes to the MP7, FAMAS and the CZ3A1. Every time a new CTE patch is out, stats of these weapons seem to be changing all the time, so it's kind of hard to keep up with it. But as it stands now, the FAMAS rounds per magazine have been changed once again back down to 25 rounds per mag. However, I think its reload times have been reduced as well. I don't have exact values, but it definitely feels like a reduction. The MP7 and the CZ3A1, according to the patch notes, received tweaks as well to make them more unique, but once again the exact values aren't mentioned anywhere. So now let's talk about the Stinger and IGLA updates. Their turning angles or turning radius has been heavily reduced. To put this in perspective of just how much, currently the Stinger and IGLA have turning angles of 3600. In CTE, it's now 155 for the Stinger and 200 for the IGLA. So yeah, huge reductions. I wanted to compile a test for you guys comparing the Stinger and IGLA from retail BF4 to CTE, but I've decided to leave that for a separate video. However, from what I've been reading on the CTE forums, it seems like jets can now easily dodge the missiles fired from the IGLA and Stingers, and from the footage you've been watching now, it seems like the Stingers are still pretty effective against helicopters. Now, for a quality of life change, have you ever been a squad leader while spamming the spot button and looking in the general direction of an objective, and you accidentally give out unintended attack or defend orders? Well, there's now an option to select whether tapping the spot button also gives out orders, which is a really good change, as I can't put in numbers just how many times I've been a squad leader and I've confused the shit out of my squad because I keep changing which point to attack and defend. Anyway guys, I know pretty much all of my videos lately have been updates for CTE, but I just want to make sure you guys know what's going on with all these updates and new features, so when the big CTE patch finally arrives, you guys roughly know what changes to expect. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.